one of the funniest comedians around, and right now he's traveling all over the country with his More Laughter to the People tour. Please welcome one of the country's best stand-up comedians for a long, long time, David Brenner. See, they stand up and...
Yeah, that's terrific. Usually I get standing ovations that move. That was really exciting. Thank you very much.
Listen,
I appreciate
David,
that. Yeah.
aren't you scared about this water shortage? Am I the only nutcase?
No, you're not. You're absolutely not. And I saw something so frightening in the paper. They said here in New York, which is emergency conditions now, that if they don't solve this problem by midsummer, they're going to ask the people living here to drink toilet water. Now I want to make a statement in public. I will never drink toilet water for two reasons. Number one and number two.
Before we get to other stuff, let me just plug your little gig here, because it's very interesting how this all happened. Yeah. You've been on your More Laughter to the People tour since September 11th, which is one of those dates that will live in infamy. You were performing in Las Vegas at the time of the tragedy. Right. Why did you decide to take the show on the road?
Well, what
happened that day?
Well, I actually had to perform that night. Yeah. Which was next to the night my mother passed away, the second most difficult night you would know to perform. So I went out on stage, and I spent the whole day trying to email friends to find out who's alive and who got hurt and everything. And then I had to take a shower, get dressed, walk out, and do 90 minutes on a stage of jokes. And I came out, now it was only half a house, you know? And I walked out, and my opening line was, I said, I know why I'm here tonight. I have a contract. I don't know why the hell you're here tonight. You know? I said, but you know, they say laughter is the best medicine. And let me be your doctor. Let's see how we get through this. And that's what we did. Yeah, the power of laughter. So from that, I went out of town a few days later and sold out a 1,240-seat theater. And I said, well, why do they come? Why? They don't come to Vegas. And I realized Americans are afraid to travel, afraid to leave, but they're not afraid to leave their homes. So I said, in a moment of madness, I'm going back on the road, you know?
Well, if they won't come to you, you'll go to them. That's right.
So I had Laughter to the People tour, which was supposed to end here at Madison Square Garden. I played here for five nights. But I have never had such appreciative audiences in my entire career. People coming up, not only saying, thank you, for making me laugh. They're saying, thank you. I haven't laughed in weeks. And I had a fireman, 28-year-old guy from New York, come up to me, and he said, I lost 8 brothers September 11th. And this is the first time I ever laughed at anything about what's going on in the world. And you've also given me a new perspective, and I'm going back to work. He was on a leave of absence. Wow. And you get that kind of reward, you got to stay out on the road.
That's right.
So I'm out on the road.
Nothing better. You've been in 30 states on this tour, so obviously you're not scared of flying, I take it.
No, I'm not scared of flying. I'm scared of going through security. And I got to tell you that it is the most horrendous situation. I mean, if these people are the front line of defense, that's like having midgets as the front line of the Patriots team, you know? They are baboons, they're idiots. And
not all of them.
Not all of them. 98% of them are idiots. And I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you what I have seen. I've witnessed a few things. One, I saw 2 security guards take a woman under her arm. She was 89 years old. Lift her out of her wheelchair, the wheelchair there. She's dangling like a broken marionette while they took her sensible black wedgies and put them on the belt to exempt for bombs. And I went over to him, because I'm not, the kind of stays quiet. I said, why are you doing this to this woman? And the man said to me, she could have something hidden in the wheelchair. I said, it's your wheelchair. It's true. And then they look at me with those beady little eyes. I said, this lady's name is not airport property. Then I had a man come from a CIA agent, accompanied by the pilot. Came over, he had a .357 Magnum weapon loaded in a special case on his carry-on, and he had all the documentation to do it. So he hands it in with the pilot, he hands in all the documentation. They take it in security, they read it, they check, they open it, boom, they give it, he locks it again, they go through his personal effects, they take out his nail clipper, they break off the pony part, and they hand them back. Now, let's think this through. The premise here is that if this CIA agent, while sitting on the plane, goes berserk, he has to make a decision. Should I use the Magnum or my nail clippers? And now I'll tell you, wait, I'll tell you a wilder one. I'll tell you a wilder one. There was a pilot with a great handlebar mustache, real good-looking guy, and he's in line, and they go through, and they find a mustache trimmer. So they said, you're not allowed to bring this on the plane. You can mail it if you go back to the counter. Well, it was an antique. So he took it back to the counter, he mailed it. And he came back and he said to the security guards, he said, I'm curious, why did you take away my mustache trimmer? They said, because you could use it to take over the plane. He said, I'm the pilot, I always take over the plane. So I have been searched 50% of the time I go. Now, all right, it's annoying to me, but worse than that is I'm trying to tell them as they're searching me, and they know who I am. I get called out this way. David, could I see you? Now, I walk over, and the first time I thought he wanted an autograph. And he says, I want to search you, and they wand me. And I said, wait a minute, didn't you just say David? He said, yeah. I said, do you know who I am? He said, oh, I'm one of your biggest fans. I said, then why are you searching me? He says, random. I said, what's random about me? What is random about me? So they go through, and they go through everything, and I'll tell you the worst part. While they're searching me, and I tried to explain this to them, I said, do you realize you picked me out? One of the bad guys could be going on the plane.
Yeah.
You know, right. I'm sure that the terrorists are telling everyone, fly with Brenner.
Because he's random.
Yeah, he's random, you'll go right by him. You know, wearing your towel with a mortar gun, you go right by him. And the worst thing is the government goes, and the government's answer to this is, well, they're minimum wage, you know, that doesn't mean someone's dumb. I've worked minimum wage most of my life. They say, a minimum wage, let's give them an extra $5 an hour. Now, you know, we all work with idiots. You give an idiot $5. You have an idiot with an extra $5. Yeah. He doesn't suddenly go, thank you. You know, Plato is my favorite philosopher. No, he remains an idiot for the rest of his life. He's an idiot.
He just has more money. Yeah, right. That's the way of the world.
Get rid of them. And you know what you do? You get rid of them. You get all the people who lost their jobs because of 9/11. You get all the retired people. You get all the retired cops. And you get Americans to volunteer. Say, listen, give us some of your time. Work the airport for a few months. We'll give you as much money as we can. Do an American thing. Let's be patriotic. Let's stop these terrorists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for coming on. We just love to have comedians on this show because comedians are crazy. That's why.
Yeah, we're all crazy.
We're crazy, but
I heard how crazy you are, but you have an excuse, menopause. That's bullshit.
This is a daytime show, but thanks to David Brenner. Be sure to catch his More Laughter to the People tour at the Irvine. Oh, really, career's moving up. Improv, May 8th to the 12th, and at the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas. You're going back there.
Yeah, with Kevin Pollak.
The people are coming to him June 19th to 23rd with Kevin Pollak. We'll be right back.